Hello guys, let's look at one of the oldest mating motif in chess, which is the Arabian Mate. Let's first look at an example of how Arabian Mate is done, and then let's study it further to internalize the pattern. Here in this position, white is to move and to win. First, white goes knight f6 check. Now the king has only one move, king h8. And now we sacrifice the queen, queen h6, check. And again, black only has one legal move, bishop takes h6. And I'm sure you can see the checkmate, rook h7, checkmate. Okay, now let's discuss the position a bit further to see what kind of pattern we can internalize, what kind of rules, what kind of requirements for this pattern. First, when we give knight f6 check, and the king goes into the corner, this is actually a very important pattern to remember. Basically, this knight right here is already providing a mating net for the king. What is necessary is just usually a rook to go to rook h7 or a rook to go to rook g8. Well, here our rook is already in the 7th rank instead of on the g file, so we aim to checkmate the king here on rook h7. So we need to open this line, and most of the examples we see today is how do we sacrifice piece or how do we open this line so we can checkmate the king. In this case, we open the line by the queen sacrifice. Very beautiful and spectacular queen sacrifice. And now the line is open. We can checkmate the black king. Okay, now let's practice. Okay, now we got a new position. White to move and checkmate the black king with Arabian Mate pattern that we discussed earlier. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think, to try to solve it on your own. And please feel free to pause the video as well if you need additional time. Okay, let's solve it together. Remember, what are the requirements of Arabian Mate? First, we need the knight on f6. Knight f6 check. Notice that the bishop cannot take because it's pinned by the rook. So black really has only one legal move here, which is king h8. And again, notice how this knight is providing a mating net for white. Basically, it controls the g8 and the h7 squares. And all that remains for white to do is to open this line. Basically, get rid of the bishop from the 7th rank, so that the rook can go to h7 to checkmate the black king. How do we do that? With a spectacular queen sacrifice, of course. Queen h6 check. Now again, the black king, well, black, that is, only has one legal move, which is bishop take h6. And now we can go rook h7 because the 7th rank is finally free and it's a checkmate. Let's look at another position. This one is slightly more difficult than the previous two. Black to move and to win using the Arabian Mate pattern that we've been discussing. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think, and please feel free to pause the video if you need to. Okay, first black takes the knight at f3. And now white doesn't have to take, but then white will just be losing, right? It's white is down a piece. So let's assume that white takes, g takes f3. And now here where the Arabian Mate pattern comes in. Knight d4 check with a discovered check. And now white has two moves. Go back king h1 or parry the check with the rook g2. Let's assume king h1 first. And here knight f3, knight takes f3. Notice the knight controls h2 and g1 as the Arabian Mate pattern suggests to checkmate the king. And here the threat is rook h2. So white's best defense is probably g2, rook g2. But then we go rook d1 check. White has only one legal move, rook g1, and rook takes g1, checkmate. If at this position white goes rook g2 instead, then the mating sequence is actually almost the same. So knight f3 check, king h1, rook d1 check, rook g1, and rook takes g1, checkmate against Arabian Mate pattern that we've seen earlier. Okay, I saved the best for the last for you guys. In this position, black is to move and to win with the Arabian Mate pattern. Please feel free to try to solve it on your own first. I think when you find the solution, you will find it very, very satisfying. So I suggest that you do pause the video and try to find the solution on your own. Okay, in this position, we already have the knight on f3, controlling the h2 and g1 square. We can give a checkmate on g1 with Arabian Mate only if the rook, white rooks, that is, it's not in g4. So how do we get rid of that rook? We go queen h4. Now the threat is queen h2, checkmate. If black takes the queen, then there's a checkmate on g1. So to prolong the game, the best defense for white is probably rook g2. So white won't take our queen, but we insist for white to take our queen. Queen takes h2. So white only has one legal move. Rook takes h2, and now it clears the line for us to checkmate the white king. Rook g1, Arabian Mate. Okay guys, that's all for Arabian Mate. Hope you enjoy it. Do let me know in the comment section if you managed to solve all of those exercises. I'm in the middle of checkmate pattern studies and also endgame studies, so if those contents you'd like to see, please do subscribe and turn the notification on so you don't miss any. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.